Oh, that looks bad. Does this work? Hey! Why do I look like a blurry mess? Oh, great. Is that better? That looks terrible. I look like a blurry monster. I can't fix that. Is that good lighting? I think that's good lighting. Let me make sure I got location on track. Anyways, if you know, you know. Alright. Alright, well, it's story time. Yeah, here's the story time, guys. Yeah. You're not gonna want to miss this. Alright, well. Alright, I don't think I've ever told you guys about the time I worked in fast food for approximately 11 business days and then disappeared from the company like I was placed into witness protection. And listen, before I tell this story, I need to make something very clear. I was not a bad employee. I was actually trying extremely hard. Probably harder than I should have been, considering I was making barely enough money to purchase one of the meals from the restaurant I worked at. I would show up early. I would wear the full uniform, shirt tucked in, hat on. They had those non-slip shoes that looked something like a prison chef would wear. I was ready. I was locked in. I was thinking this job, I was taking the job way too seriously. On my first day, the manager gave me this whole speech about how we were a family. Anytime a workplace says we're a family here, you need to be careful. Because a normal workplace says, here is your schedule. A workplace that says it's a family is about to ask you to do something that is definitely not in the employee handbook. But at that time, I believed it. I was young, I was optimistic, I thought maybe we really were a family. And then I realized we were the kind of family where one person does all the work, 3 people disappear during the dinner rush, and the manager is outside vaping behind the dumpster. My official job was basically front counter and food preparation. Take orders, make drinks, package food, restock things, wipe down tables. Normal fast food activities. At no point during the interview did anyone say, and occasionally you will be sent to a biological danger zone with 1 roll of toilet paper and a bottle of blue liquid. That was never mentioned. There was no toilet-related portion of the interview. Nobody asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I said, hopefully elbow deep in a public restroom. Like, I don't know. That conversation did not happen, guys. Trust me. So one night, I'm working a closing shift. It had already been a terrible shift. We were understaffed, the restaurant was packed, and for some reason, every customer had decided to order modifications that should have required architectural blueprints. One guy wanted a burger with no bun, no sauce, no cheese, no onions, no pickles, and no meat. So basically, he wanted us to hand him lettuce in a box. I don't know what he was on. Another person ordered food, watched us make it, ate half of it, and then came back saying it was not what they ordered. What do you mean it wasn't what you ordered? You personally removed half of the evidence. The fries were everywhere. The drink machine was making this horrible grinding noise. One of my coworkers had gone on break and had been gone for so long that I was starting to think he had entered a new life somewhere. Maybe he had a wife and kids now. I don't know. Maybe he moved to Europe. Nobody knew. So I'm standing behind the counter trying to clean everything up when my manager walks over. He has a serious look on his face too, and he says, "Hey, I need you to take care of something." Immediately, I knew it was bad. Because managers never say, "I need you to take care of something" before giving you good news. Nobody says that and then hands you a promotion. That sentence always means somebody threw up, something is leaking, or a customer is about to start yelling. That's just based off of experience. I said what happened, right? And he just pointed toward the bathroom. He didn't even say anything. He pointed toward it like a horror movie character warning me not to go into the basement. I said, "What's wrong with the bathroom?" And he goes, "It needs to be cleaned." Now, I had cleaned the tables before, right? I'd swept the floor, I'd taken out the garbage. So at first I thought maybe he meant the sink needed wiping or there was paper towel on the floor, right? Because that's what I'd done before. Something, I don't know, manageable maybe. I asked, like, just a regular, and I really asked, like, just a regular clean? And he just paused. He was completely I don't know, he just didn't say anything. And that pause told me everything. Anytime someone pauses before describing a bathroom, you should leave the building immediately. That's my advice. And then he goes, "Someone made a bit of a mess." A bit of a mess. That phrase is doing an unbelievable amount of work. That is like calling a house fire a temperature issue. I said, "What kind of mess?" He goes, "You'll see." No, I don't want to see. That is why I'm asking you to describe it, right? If somebody says "you'll see" before sending you into a public bathroom, that is not an instruction. That is a threat. So I walk over to the bathroom with the cleaning supplies. And even before I opened the door, I knew something had horribly gone wrong. What was that? All right. Yeah, I knew something was wrong. There was a smell coming through the door that did not feel legally possible. It had weight. It had texture. It hit me in the face like the bathroom itself was trying to stop me from entering. I opened the door, looked inside, and immediately closed it again. I just stood there for a few seconds staring at the wall. I needed a moment to process the fact that a human being had done this and then simply returned to society. The person was probably out there right now driving a car, voting, using banking services, potentially raising children, and I was expected to clean up after them for minimum wage. The toilet looked like it had lost a war. I'm not giving every detail because some of you might be eating, but I will say this. Whatever happened in there had somehow affected areas that should not have been physically reachable. I was looking at the walls trying to understand the trajectory as well. At this point, I needed a forensic team. I needed investigators. I needed one of those crime show laser recreations because there was no way the laws of physics allowed this. I walked back to the manager and said, "I don't think I can clean that." And he looked at me like I just refused to perform a basic task. He goes, "Everyone has to help out." There it was. The family speech coming back to haunt me. I said, "I understand helping out, but I was hired to work the counter." That's what I told him. And he goes, "Cleaning is part of closing." I said, "Cleaning the restaurant, sure. But that bathroom needs someone with professional training and emotional support." Yeah, I thought that was funny, but of course, he did not laugh. I thought that was a good line too. Just nothing. Completely serious. He tells me there are gloves in the back. Gloves? As though gloves were going to solve the situation. You could have given me a full, medieval suit of armor, and I still would not have felt protected. I needed a sealed hazmat suit for that. I needed oxygen tanks. I needed to be lowered into the bathroom using a rope system. but I also didn't want to get fired. It was one of my first jobs, and I still had that mindset where I thought saying no to a manager was basically illegal. So I went into the storage room and got the supplies. The supplies were terrible. One pair of thin plastic gloves, a spray bottle with no label on it, a mop that looked older than I was, and a little paper mask, not even a proper mask. It was basically like a coffee filter with elastic bands. I put it on anyway. I also doubled up the gloves just to be safe. I tied garbage bags around my shoes because I was not sacrificing my sneakers for this company. And then I walked back toward the bathroom. My coworkers were watching me go. Nobody said anything. It was like I was going off to battle. One coworker gave me a little nod. Not a helpful nod. A goodbye nod, like, you were a good man. I opened the door, immediately regretted every decision that had led me to that moment. I sprayed the mystery blue cleaner everywhere. I didn't know what it was, so I assumed more was better. The entire room became covered in this blue mist. Now it smelled like artificial berries mixed with something I can only describe as pure evil. I started cleaning. And I was trying not to breathe, which, as it turns out, makes cleaning a bathroom significantly more difficult. Who would have thought? I would scrub for 10 seconds, run outside, breathe, and then go back in. It was like I was exploring an underwater cave. At one point, a customer walked up and tried to enter. I blocked the door and said, "You cannot go in there." The customer said, "Why?" And I genuinely didn't know how to answer. I said the bathroom is temporarily unavailable. Like, what else am I supposed to say, right? I feel like that's a basic response. But then, of course, he had to ask how long. And I opened the door and looked back inside. And I told him possibly forever. And he just stared at me. I was too emotionally exhausted to explain. Eventually, after what it felt like 3 years, the bathroom was technically clean. Not spiritually clean. That room would never be spiritually clean again. But visually, it had improved. I threw away the gloves. Then I threw away the second pair of gloves, right? Because I double gloved. Then I washed my hands for so long that the manager came over and asked whether I was finished. I said, "I'm trying to remove the memory. My shift ended around midnight." I went home, took a shower, then took another shower because the first one didn't feel convincing enough. I put my uniform in a separate bag. I didn't even want to touch the rest of my clothes. I went to bed, but I could still smell the cleaning chemicals. I think the smell had attached itself into my brain at that point. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the bathroom. I started thinking about my life. I was lying there at 1 in the morning, staring at the ceiling, having an existential crisis over a fast food toilet. I thought, is this really what I'm doing? And I know that sounds dramatic, but something changed in me that night. I had entered that bathroom as an employee. I left as a man with nothing to lose. The next morning, my alarm went off for work. I looked at my uniform sitting in the bag. My schedule said I was supposed to start at 12. Or no, I think it was 10 a.m. that day. And then at 9:30, yeah, because at 9:30 my manager texts me. He's like, "Hey, are you coming in today?" And dude, I looked at the message. I did not respond. At 10:05 he called me. I watched the phone ring. I didn't answer. At 10:20 another text. "Please let me know if you're running late." Still nothing. At 11 he called again. At this point, I had decided I was no longer an employee. I had not officially quit. There was no resignation letter, no 2 weeks notice, no goodbye party. I simply stopped existing from the restaurant's perspective. I ghosted the entire company. I became an unsolved staffing mystery. Somewhere in that restaurant, my name was probably still on schedule. You know, just somewhere. And then, I assume later they probably just knew I was missing and then just made a free week because I was gone. My manager eventually sent me this long message saying it was unprofessional not to show up. And honestly, he was right. It was unprofessional. But you know what else felt unprofessional? Sending the newest employee into a bathroom disaster with a spray bottle and the emotional support of absolutely nobody. I never went back. I didn't pick up my final schedule. I didn't return the hat. I actually still had the hat for a while. Every time I saw it in my closet, I felt like a retired soldier looking at an old uniform. People would ask me, why did you quit? And I would say management differences. Because that sounded better than saying the toilet defeated me. The funniest part is that a few weeks later, I went back to that same restaurant as a customer, not inside. I used the drive-thru. I was not emotionally prepared to enter the building. I ordered food and one of my old co-workers recognized my voice through the speaker. And I'm not even joking, he's like, Dominic? Is that you? I said no. Even though it was obviously me. I didn't even change my voice. He goes, where did you go? I said, I've been busy. Busy doing what? Not working there. He told me the manager was still angry. Then he asked if I wanted sauce. I said yes. Very professional interaction. Wow. And that is the story of how I worked in fast food. Got asked to clean a bathroom that was definitely outside my pay grade. Completed the mission anyway. Went home. Reconsidered every choice I had ever made. And resigned the following morning by becoming completely unreachable. Was ghosting the correct way to quit? Probably not. Would I do it differently now? I think so. I would send a very respectful message first. Something like, thank you for the opportunity. Unfortunately, after whatever previous events, I might not be showing up. But at the time, I didn't have the vocab, bro. All I had was fear, a contaminated uniform, and an unanswered phone. Anyways. Well, that was a good story. Anyways. I'm going to play some Minecraft. I'm putting on some music. How do I full screen? Alright, that's... Whoa, why does it look like this? Yikes. Alright, sure, whatever. Alright. Yeah, why'd the audio glitch? I don't need that right now. What is this? Okay, well that's great. Alright. Upgrade? Yo, where did my Minecraft go? Yo, this is not epic. This is not working right now. How do I go to... Okay, latest release. I got 4 viewers? Yo, if you're in the chat right now, say hello. Say hello, please. I'm begging. I'm getting desperate. I probably got like 10 more minutes on the stream. I can't lie. So please drop a follow. Uh, you know, come back for again. Upgrading world. Do you want to? Yes. I can read chat. Don't worry. Where am I? What is this? This is not my world. What is going on? Yo, chat, I think I'm lost. Do you think it'd be safe to say that? What is friends? There are no... What am I looking at? Also, why is it like... Uh... Am I on 60? Whatever. I should be okay, but I saw some like... Yo, what is that gang? Is he aiming at me? Why are they all aiming at me? How do I get out of here, chat? And why are they burning down all these trees? That's the lava. What? Alright, well, I'll just keep going. Okay, I kind of need this. Okay, I need you. Yeah. Now. And I don't have any wood. Of course I don't have wood. Why? I can't have wood. Like, what am I supposed to do now? Chat, I'm cooked. I could go to get the tree here. But then there's a spider right there. I should be fine. Pray for me, chat. Oh, he's right there. He knows I'm here. Yo, I need to... Come on. Low key. If I just dig below, they won't see me. I think this is the strat, chat. And then I can use the dirt here. Oh, this is actually perfect. What did I tell you, chat? Now I need the wood. Okay. Let me just use the cookbook, the recipe book. I need crafting table. No? Like that. Yay. Crafting table. Me need to craft. Where's the bed? I need a bed. What? Am I doing something wrong? Is that better? Oh, I'm so lost. How do I make a bed, chat? Please. What is this? D wow, I did it. Okay. Respawn point set, chat. That's all you need. A. And of course it's raining. My luck. Does it get any worse than this, chat? Yo, anybody in the chat wanna gift me a sub? Come on. I know you do. It's okay. Ooh, that might be the play. Oh, I might be a genius. A genius. Ooh, can I do a ladder? I need sticks. Where is the ladder? Where is the ladder? That's not the ladder. I need a ladder! No, what am I doing? Yo, I don't know what a ladder looks like. Ladder. This is not a ladder. What is going on? Why is it so hard to make a ladder? I don't get it. Chat, how do you make a ladder? Do I really need to chat GPT this right now? I'm this bad at the game. How to make a ladder in Minecraft. I really just searched it up. Open a crafting table. Place 7 sticks in an H shape. Ah, ChatGPT's onto something. Look at that. That's interesting. Okay. So, that's not what I wanted. Mm. This is weird. Whatever. Ladder. Maybe I remove it here. And then we go up the sand. Or not. Oh! That looks tough. That's the toughest of the tough. And I need a chest. How do I do a chest? This game's not telling me anything! How am I supposed to get a chest, chat, if the game doesn't tell me? Like, I don't want to memorize formulas. Please. Whatever. Does that work? It looks terrible. Whatever. Alright. Maybe I make a sign? Homeless Dom. There we go. Perfect. It's my new house, chat. Alright, we gotta go find something now. We gotta go eat. We gotta get food. How else are we gonna live, chat? Okay. I got some meat. Oh, did these guys drop meat? Looks like a little baby though. Is he pooing? Why is it brown stuff coming up when he jumped? He almost just killed himself. And why did I take damage? I'm not good at this stuff. Come here. I'm getting you, rabbit. I'm getting you. What is going on? Why is there a spider? What are you doing? I'm gonna have a heart attack. Come on. Come here, dude. I can't with this. Come on, dude. Yo, you're jumping and I still can't get you. Come on. Hey! That's what I'm talking about. Come on. Took forever. So bad. Alright, well. I still don't know how to make a chest. Like this? Oh! I'm better than I thought. How do I... Can I quick select? Okay, Oh no, that is not what I want. Get rid of that. Oh, I can have meat. 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 That's cool. Meat. W meat. W meat in the chat. If you have meat... Okay. Never mind. Okay, I think that concludes this. Yeah, that's the... Oh, hey, Luna. Oh, my doggy's here. Okay, well. Hey, Luna, come here. Come here. Alright, that concludes my stream. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.